This is the Rita Cosby Show.
What's your reaction to the fact that Trump is now telling New York Magazine he has made a big decision, and the big decision is whether he will announce before or after the midterms, not an if, but that he will announce. Boy, this is really interesting stuff. So probably Trump versus who? 1-800-848-9222. Let's go to Russ, line 4 from White Plains, New York. Go ahead, Russ.
Hi, Rita. I think it shows Trump's weakness that he's even discussing announcing before the midterms because he's trying to consolidate what's slipping away. It's slipping away. Bannon used to say 100 seats for 100 years, then it was 60 seats for 60 years, and now people are talking about, well, the Democrats are going to lose a bit. I think the one person who can sweep away Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama.
That's an interesting name. Now I have a couple questions for you. First off, I agree with you that she's wildly popular in the Democratic Party. The one name I didn't mention also was Hillary Clinton. You can't rule her out because she still doesn't believe that she lost in 2016. Remember, just like Stacey Abrams, who doesn't believe that she lost for governor of Georgia last time around. But she's wildly popular, Michelle Obama. I was there actually on the convention floor when she spoke in 2016. And that was, of course, the time for Hillary when she was nominated, remember, by the party. And the crowd went crazy when Michelle Obama spoke. I mean, they went, and I think she would be a force to be reckoned with. Don't you think, no matter who would go against her, if she would ever run?
Oh, well, I think Hillary is why we got Donald Trump. I mean, I voted for Trump because I didn't want to see Hillary. Michelle Obama, a whole nother situation. She's an unknown quantity, and it would make sense that Barack maneuvered Biden, a weak person, to be there instead of Bernie, so that he could set up his wife, who now feels the country needs her more than ever. But I think Donald Trump, I think he should use this situation with Ivana to make him stop and assess his life and realize this is not the time for him to run anymore.
All right, Russ, thank you very much. And Russ brought up also Ivana, who was President Trump's first wife, suddenly passed away today. I mean, it was stunning. Cardiac arrest at her New York apartment. I knew Ivana Trump. I had the honor, Russ, by the way, of knowing Ivana Trump. And she was an amazing woman and a friend. And I just adored Ivana Trump. And she was just an amazing class act and an amazing businesswoman. People don't realize her background. I mean, she just had an extraordinary story coming from, communism in Czechoslovakia, coming to America. She was such a proud person of freedom and loved this country and loved her family, and just a beautiful person inside and out. And I did a rare interview with her. She didn't do a lot of interviews, but I did a rare interview with her a couple of years ago. I'm going to play a little bit of it later on in the show tonight because it just gives you a sense of this remarkable, remarkable woman, who was, again, the mother of Ivanka, of Don Jr., of Eric, and also the first wife, and stayed very close friends with her former husband, President Trump. So I'm going to play that later on in the show because she was just an amazing, amazing person and left us suddenly way too soon. When we come back, we are going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about President Trump. You just heard he was saying, you know what? He doesn't think Trump should run again. Do you think Trump should run again? And who could beat Trump, whether on the GOP side or on the Democratic side? I don't think it's going to be Biden on the Democratic side. And Trump, it sure sounds like he's going to run. And I think he'll be the GOP side. We are talking about the big news that President Trump telling New York Magazine, my big decision is not if he's running, but whether he will, quote, go before or after the midterm elections, which is in November. So we could be very soon hearing that President Trump is going to be running for president again. And things are so bad for President Biden. I might even run for president. My goodness, I'm just kidding. We've had people who've been nice and recruited me. You guys have to come in with me if I'm running. It's a full cabinet here. But things are so bad that CNN is blasting President Biden. Take a listen.
So we can look at both Joe Biden's disapproval rating on inflation and Joe Biden's disapproval rating overall. And what we see is his disapproval rating on inflation is topping 70%. His disapproval rating overall is still in the 50s. But if you compare that to every single other president at this point in their first term, throughout polling history, this goes all the way back since the 1940s, he is the worst on both. And the reason he is the worst overall is because inflation is eating his presidency alive at this point.
Inflation is eating his presidency and his poll numbers alive. 1-800-848-9222. Let's go to Stan in Forest Hills, line 6. Stan, your thoughts?
First of all, the two gentlemen that talked, Norman and Russell, mental deficiency, definitely, with what I heard. Michelle Obama talking about. Give me a break with those two people. Let's get something straight. First of all, let me talk about President Biden and that statement he made. How dare you insult the man when he's talking about that young woman 10 years ago. You were interested in what is mistake. I was interested in what he said about the girl.
Oh, I was. Stan,
you didn't talk at all
Stan,
about that.
boy,
you
Stan.
didn't talk at all about that girl.
Stan,
that's who
hang
you are.
on. Stan,
that's who you are.
Stan, boy, who you are is over the top tonight. You got to get off your medication. But listen, first off, if you had really been listening clearly, we were talking about the terrible instance of the girl. For quite some time, because it's a horrible, horrible story. And sadly, that happens over and over again in America. It's a horrible story. I referred to it again just now, but if you had heard earlier, we were talking quite a bit about it. But you can continue now, Stan, if you can contain yourself. Go ahead.
You weren't interested. You complained. You criticized what he made the mistake. Okay, he made the mistake. But it was what he said about the girl.
Stan, I talked about it earlier. Stan, did you listen to the first hour of the show, Stan? In the first hour of the show, I talked extensively about it. I just highlighted it again because he flubs a lot. And unfortunately, it's at important times, like a serious topic like that. Go ahead.
Don't get it, Rita. He flubs a lot. But Donald Trump lies a lot. Treats the country terribly a lot. Doesn't like the Constitution a lot.
What about the border, Stan?
We don't need him as president.
Stan, what about the border? What about the border? The fact that border's wide open? You think that that's respecting the Constitution? You think that that's respecting the sovereignty of America? Stan, you got to wake up, get off the medication. I thought you were treating me to dinner. Boy, it's going to be a rough dinner.